Well. Sitting here with my man.
Yes, sir.
Emy Vazquez.
Pastor.
From the Boston area
in
Massachusetts. And we have the opportunity to just talk a little bit. And I get to introduce you really to our vision partners who, as you know, are the generous people in the church that feel called to generosity and carry the vision forward.
Amen.
In every season. So thankful for them.
Yes.
And I wanted them to meet you first. I wish your wife, Emily, were sitting.
I know. I wish she was here.
It is Emmy and Emily.
Yeah.
And which is awesome. I wish she were here, but I'm so glad to be sitting here with you and so glad to see this unfolding.
I'm excited.
Happen.
Excited, yeah.
And so Excel Church, going to be 7 years old the first weekend of February.
That's right.
And God's, we met several years ago, but God started dealing with you in this last season just about partnership.
Yeah.
I'd love for you just to talk about that
That's exactly right. God has been stirring in my heart and in my wife's heart about partnership and the significance of taking a vision and not necessarily just holding on to it by yourself, opening up the doors, if you will, our hearts, our hands, letting go so that they can be inclusion with more relationships like this, to take a vision that God has given us to go out there and reach the world. I woke up this morning and the verse, immediately upon waking up, the verse that came to mind was Jesus was referring to the last days in Matthew 24. Mm-hmm. And he said, when this gospel of the kingdom is preached to the entire world, then the end will come.
Yep.
And after watching the news and thinking about everything else, I said, man, if there's anything that we want to expedite the return of the Lord. And that means we got to get this gospel out. That means we have to expand. That means that the reach has to go further.
Yep.
And I thought, what a better time to do something like that when we start talking about partnership and us coming together under the Life Church is just amazing. Excited, I'm humbled.
And like New York, I think one of the things that's awesome is Wayne and Classy coming in.
Yeah.
New York, they were doing well. You're doing well.
Yeah.
The church, that your church that you've built in 6 years, almost 1,000 people in a suburb of Boston in the Northeast. What a challenge. It's one thing to build a church of 1,000 people in the South, in the Bible Belt. It's in 6 years. It's another thing to do it where you are. And I think that just speaks to your leadership, you and Emily, and the gift that's on your life. And I think it's such an honor for us. I'll just say it to you, to receive you and to have you as a part of our,
I'm humbled about that.
as a part of our family. And I think, it speaks to our vision as a church and what God's called me to do. I think in this next season, the development of other younger pastors and other locations, even outside the Mid-South. But maybe you could just tell us a little bit about the journey of Excel Church and just like where you are and what, obviously we're in COVID season.
Yeah.
It's been a challenging year, but God's really blessed, what you're doing there.
Yeah. It's been a great journey overall. And so, we're right in the heart of Massachusetts, in central Massachusetts. And we launched out of a school, which is relatively new. I found out that it was a normal thing when you go south. But the school was shocked, like, listen, you want to do this in the school? And we were like, yeah, we want to do it in the school. And we launched, and we had a strong launch that took place. And we've seen hundreds of people, thousands of people come to relationship with Christ.
Amazing.
Then we went through a journey going into year 2 and started to include more relationships in our personal lives to help us with this, because I'm a first generation pastor.
Right.
So to be able to do this with my wife and my family. Okay. And so, we've been doing it for 6 years. Next year in February, you mentioned it, first week of February will be 7 years. And so I start thinking about that from a spiritual dynamic.
It's a big number.
We're talking to some pastors about 7 being this perfection, this completion. What is God doing right now?
Right.
As we enter into this new season. We're a staple in our community. And even though COVID has hit, the expectation is still high. And I really am just excited about what God is stirring up in this season and the relationships that he's building and grooming with myself and my wife and Pastor John and Pastor Leslie and the Life Church, et cetera. So hopefully that answered your question.
It's awesome. Tell us about your family.
Okay, so I'm married. To Emily. Emily's been with me. Good Lord, Emily's been there. That's my ride or die right there. Emily's been through the journey with me. And I have 3 kids.
Yep.
And Eliana is the oldest. She's 23. So yes, I have a 23-year-old.
That's
and
good.
then I have Evan, who just entered his senior year at high school. So he's 17.
Wonderful.
And I'm grooming a good sneakerhead right there. No. And then I have little Rhea, who's my little dime piece there. She's 14 years old, very witty and creative. And so we're a family of 5. We have 3 children, and we're not having any more. And we got 2 Pomeranians. We can't forget of the Pomeranians.
Yeah, you're a dog.
We're dog people.
You're dog people. I love that about you. You're little dog people.
We got little dogs.
That's what's interesting.
With a big bark. Yeah.
But look, we're going to meet Emily, and we'll do an interview with her. We'll have her. The church will be able to meet her. The team will be able to meet her. Our team has met her, but Vision Partners in the church, and and your kids. I've had a chance to be around all of them, and your team there, and we're just excited.
I'm excited for it too.
We're excited. First quarter of the year, first part of the year, maybe even that weekend that you celebrate 7 years as a church is when we make that shift, and it becomes Life Church Massachusetts.
Come on.
Hey, the lead pastor of Life Church Massachusetts, Emy Vazquez.
Senior pastor of the Life Church. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Love you.
Looking forward to it.